known scientific mechanisms. But we also can be very clear that there's a ton of research on nature connectedness, as I'm sure you know, from the psychedelic world, which they talk about, which shows that if you take a walk in a forest, if you are able to do that, in Japan, they have Shinrin Yoku, forest bathing, where doctors prescribe for various illnesses, go be in a forest, lie down, breathe, be there for an hour, feel all your emotions. And I think that that is as healing for those forests as it is for the patients.
That's interesting. You really think it affects nature if we do it?
How could it not? Our fear of feeling our own grief, our own solastalgia, as Glenn Albrecht calls it, our fear of actually feeling the emotions which come with the degradation of our habitat, those lack of expression of feelings are keeping us in ecocide. They're keeping us in this static pattern, right? We need to throw some chaos at it, and that's what psychedelics are really good at. They're non-localized amplifiers, right? I think that's Groff's definition.
I don't know. It sounds like a very cool definition.
They're non-specific amplifiers.
Yeah.
So if you are in nature, you are going to be more open to that.
Yeah.
And I think that psychedelics are always, I don't want to say only, but when we're not using them in nature, we're not fulfilling their full purpose. And we're also short-circuiting ourselves back into that hall of mirrors. We're understanding those imaginal realms as a mirror or as a window rather than a relation. And that's why, for example, if you're using psychedelics in the base, say DMT in a basement, and you happen to have a white supremacist ideology, it's just going to reflect back to you that white supremacist ideology, because you're not bouncing it off anything else. There's no connection. You're just fantasizing and about whatever is there to begin with. So that's why it's a non-specific amplifier. But these substances have always been used in community, in nature, historically. And they've been used to heal. It's not about healing individuals. It's about healing the relationship between the human community and the more than human world. And that is what psychedelics are there for. And when we heal that relationship, we may unlock whole nother stages and levels of what psychedelics can offer us. And we also might be able to unlock that without the psychedelics at all. Not that I, would ever want to forego that possibility, but I do think that we can live in an ecodelic world and state, because all of this, we're talking about states, mind states, states of a body of being, right? Of connection. And when we're in these states, it doesn't matter how we got there, as long as we're listening and vulnerable and open and surrendering to that part of ourself that's a Nazi, killing our inner Nazi, which is the default mode network, which is restraining us from acknowledging the synesthesia, all the feelings that are constantly washing over us.
Yeah.
We need to let those spirits go instead of holding on to them and letting them make us into a meat puppet, which I would say most of us do most of the time, right? But if we want a little bit of free will, we need to let go of our ideologies. We need to let go of our notion that we're right. And we need to feel more the more than human world, the animate world, which is our birthright for 98% of our existence. We saw in every tree, in every cloud, in every body of water, we saw the goddess. We saw the mystery. We saw the part of ourself that, in Greece, they called it the daemon, that's on your shoulder that everybody else can see. But the moment you turn to look at it, it goes somewhere else. You can never see your own sort of spirit, right? And when we can see through other species' eyes ourselves, so much of our insecurity in the 21st century as human beings goes away. When we are scrolling through our black mirrors, looking for that dopamine release, which of course is super hyper reductionist. Let's select wider. What we're actually craving is to be nestled in the branches or the roots of a tree. We're craving to be seen by the more than human world through the eyes of an other that we cannot understand, and to feel seen and to feel love and to see beauty. We're looking for beauty. We're all beauty junkies, and that's what nature and creation and the imaginal realms are, the possibility for that. But the more we are afraid of that, the more we create ugliness, the more we create pollution, the more we create ecocide, genocide, semiocide, and the more impoverished we get on a level of significance and meaning.